Live on one.
And we're live, 90 Sports Complex. I'm your host, the Sports Guru. Talk sports to me. Tonight, we are selling tickets starting just now at 6 o'clock. We're selling tickets for Empire Fight Series 3, which is May the 9th here at MOSC. Tonight, I've got the main event with me, not the undercard, not the rookie, but the Bulldog, the longtime MMA legend here locally, Bethel's own, Claremont County's own son, the one and only original Jeff Mack. What's up, dog?
What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks for joining us, Jeff. I want to talk tonight about a lot of different things. One, mainly being the MMA promotion that's coming here on May 9th. And I know that you're juiced up and you're excited and you're ready. And I've seen you fight before, and this is going to be an exciting event. Tell us a little bit about where your head's at right now moving forward into the event.
Brother, I'm ready to go tomorrow. You know what I mean? I got a lot of good guys and a lot of good people behind me that I'm working with day in and day out. So I'm prepared tomorrow. I cannot wait to see how I feel in 8 weeks. It's going to be fun.
Awesome. I know you're 2-3 in your pro career. Did a little research to see that your two of your 3 fights were due to rear naked choke or guillotine, or triangle chokes rather. The one was James London, and the other was Vladimir Kozbakov, which are 2 top-notch opponents. So tell us a little bit about that experience, what you learned from those 2 guys, and how you were able to benefit moving forward.
Basically, they were very similar in the way I've lost. Most of my losses are very similar. As in, I'm winning the fight. I'm in guard and not recognizing the dangers in guard. Mm-hmm. I like to punch from guard, so you can only defend submission so long before you get stuck, you know? Mm-hmm. So I basically learned that we need to get out of positions, quit waiting so long, and make a move and go. I had a couple rough weight cuts during the time as well. Energy was not there, strength wasn't there, but since then I've been eating a lot better. My diet's changed, just everything in general has changed. My training's changed with Triple Crown Athletic now, so things are great, man. And
do you feel like your training right now is as good as it's ever been? Do you feel like the guys in your camp, and I'm gonna ask you about some of the guys that are in the camp, because I want to know who you're working with day in and day out, but do you feel like your training's different and that you're at a different level right now than you were in the past?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Once I transferred to Triple Crown Athletic, everything just kind of took off. You know, there's some great guys, great coaches over there, and they really, really took me in and made me feel like a professional fighter. You know, I was there a few months, and we took a trip out to Montreal to train at TriStar for a week, and that to me was a big eye-opener, and I'm a small fish in a gigantic pond.
There's fighters out there.
Oh, man, and it was incredible. It was incredible being out there, but I've grown a lot in the past 2 years, and the biggest way, mentally, I've matured as an adult and as a fighter, and that is why I'm on a 2-fight win streak with 2 finishes, about to get my 3rd on May 9th.
It's awesome, man. It's like one thing that we always knew about you when you first started fighting, even as an amateur, like, 1, you're gonna bring the fight, and 2, your stand-up game, your game on the ground is identical to your stand-up game. It's relentless. It's ruthless. You don't care to take shots, but the thrill of dishing out shots to you is more prevailing than taking the shot. So you'll take 2 to give 1 good one, you know. And I've always, like, watching you fight, I've always enjoyed that part, because guys have gotten away from that part of the fight game in terms of how they go about, you know, how meticulous they are about, are they willing to take 1 to give a few, you know, and that's old school. And you're like an old school fighter. Who are some of the guys that are in your camp right now?
Well, I got Jesse Romans. He's a big name locally that people know, more in the Kentucky area and that scene. James Bolt, he actually made his debut on the last show I fought on. He's an up-and-coming guy to watch. Smoking Joe Peg, I'm always getting rounds in with him when I can. 50 Cal and Kumpf is a very, very skilled boxer. I think he's 4-0, 5-0 as an amateur boxer, and he's always coming up and getting rounds in with me and doing mitts and working with me. He'll actually be one of my cornermen on May 9th again. But awesome guys, man. Great
So
guys.
are you fighting at 45 on May 9th?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
awesome.
45.
And so, at 45, is that where you're most comfortable?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had too many experiences with the bad weight cut. There's so much to it, and one thing goes wrong, man, and you're really going down a bad road. And come fight night, there's no excuses. You got to get in there and do the thing. And if your body's not wanting to do the thing, it's rough. So I feel comfortable at 45. I feel strong and fast, and I hit deceptively hard, and I know that. I know I can knock people out at 145. So I feel good here. I like it.
One of the fights that I was really looking forward to in your past that never got to happen was Clay Baker.
That's right.
I wanted to see you, and I was like excited about that opportunity to see you and Clay fight. I probably would have paid I probably would have paid the same amount of money that I would go see a professional MMA card to watch that fight, because both you guys are electric in the ring.
And we were amateurs then too.
That's what I know. And both you guys you had a whole lot more at that point to gain than you did to lose. And when guys are fighting more for the game than they are what there is, it's a lot of times when guys are fighting for what they have to lose, they get kind of scared, they get timid. I think that's what has happened with Sean a couple of times. What he's had to lose, what's been at stake, the UFC contract and the fight with Justin Johnson and the fight with Jason Butcher, those fights were fights that had significant ramifications in terms of what was at risk, what was at store for him in his future. And I think that kind of was a little bit of a setback for him. As opposed to if he was going into those fights with nothing to lose, he probably would have kicked both those guys' ass.
I agree, man.
But
it puts a lot of pressure on you, a lot of extra pressure.
It puts a lot of pressure on you, and it also makes your mentality different.
Yeah.
And like fighting is not like any other sport in the sense that your mentality has to be right.
I couldn't agree.
And if your mentality's not right, you're going to lose. And it doesn't matter who is in there, you're going to lose, man. And so I think that's what is at risk, is the mentality part when you have something to lose. That goes with anything. Your mentality changes at a normal 9 to 5 job if you have something to lose.
Yeah, right.
So,
that's what I've taken away from all my losses, wins in general, is just you got to grow mentally. I mean, being young, I was not all the way there mentally, man. I was reckless, and since then, I've had a son, I've had a long, successful relationship, and things have just changed for me. I got a new reason to get up and do this stuff.
Right. You're fighting for a different purpose. A lot of times when guys first start fighting, they fight because someone else has given them a title of a badass. 90% of fighters who fight because someone says you should train. Or you should come to our gym, or, something like that, And so 90% of the time, that's why people are fighting, is because someone else has directed them in that path. But when things change for you and it comes an issue of you're fighting with a different purpose, now you're fighting for your wife, now you're fighting for your son, now you're fighting for the positive people in your life and not the negative people who pushed you toward fighting.
Yeah.
A lot of times when people push guys toward fighting, it's for a negative reason.
Yeah.
It's not for the right reason, And so it's not to ever see you turn pro.
Yeah.
It's to see you get in there and get your ass kicked. That's what
just
people
to
want to
prove
see.
that you're really
just
not,
to prove that you're not the badass that you think you are, or
right.
that people think you are. Let's talk a bit about Ramon the Reaper Yanez. What do you know about him?
Man, I just know from what I've watched, he's got a lot of footage out there. He's had a lot of fights, man.
He's fought 20, I think I've got 24 times.
Yeah, man. He's got a lot of fights, and he fights very quickly. Like, he has a quick turnover. Fights 1 week, then fights, 3-4 weeks later, and he's done that throughout most of his career. I think we fought on the same show together, maybe on my pro debut or one of my very last amateur fights. I can't remember, but I think we fought on the same show. But Don't know that much, man. I know he's well rounded. He doesn't have a big strength, but he doesn't have a big weakness. You know, he's kind of just mixed. He's a mixed martial artist, I'd say.
Right. I won't go into detail, but do you have your fight plan in place yet, or?
I always have like a basis, but you know, it's action reaction when you get in there. You know, things just kind of happen, and you got to be willing to react and act upon the appropriate things at the right times. So, not really much of a game plan guy. Let's just go in there and fight.
Julius King, you are right. I never said I could. I'm a lover, not a fighter. But you know, I see you comment every week, but you tune in every week. So that means I'm getting your attention, regardless of what the comment is. I'm getting your attention.
You never know who can fight and who can't no more, man.
Who has been your toughest competition up to this point? That is a very good question that Julius has asked.
Man, my toughest fight, probably back to my amateur days when I fought Ethan McGee. Just because it was a long 5-round, it was an amateur fight, so it was 15 minutes, but 5 3-minute rounds, and it was just a
grind.
Yeah, man, I really just had to suck it up. I was very tired of going into the 5th, and I knew it was close, so I know I had to finish strong. And I feel like I just gutted it out, you know, that night. So I'd say that was my toughest fight, and I did win, but it was a good fight. It was a fun one.
Julius is the CEO of Camp One LLC, which is also something else different than I do. It's we do basketball camps across the country and work with some of the top ranked players in the country, and it's been a blessing to me. And I'm just now expanding my horizons, doing some stuff like this and some different things. He's also doing some different things. He's taking a big lead role in the KBC, the Kentucky Basketball Commission. So he's a big supporter of ours, and I'm a big supporter of his, and we work together. And you know, the same thing. Try to grind it out and get to where we can go. You know, life's short. You don't want to sit on your hands.
Well, thank you, Julius.
His record is 5. Ramon the Reaper Yanez is 5-19. So he has. But I was watching some of his fights, and like, he is a banger.
Yeah, man.
Like, he fights.
Yeah, he does, man. He comes to fight, and he doesn't fight the smartest in terms of, like I said, he's very active. He doesn't take any time off to, you know, collect his thoughts and see where he went wrong. He jumps right back into it. You know, to each his own. But, you know, he's fought a lot of tough people, and he's fought a lot of bigger people. He's fought outside of his weight class up to 155.
Really?
You know, yeah. So
a big jump.
It's a big jump, man. And from what I've seen, I'm going to be one of the smaller guys that he's fought in his recent fights. So I don't know. Maybe that gives him some confidence. I don't know. We'll see.
Was it a pure 45 fight, or was it approached or brought to your attention as far as potentially being a catchweight fight?
That's pretty much 45. I mean, if for some reason he needed it, I mean, it wouldn't bother me maybe to go 50 or something. But I mean, or if he wanted to go lower, I mean, I could probably make 40 if I wanted to. But I like 45, man. I feel really good here.
Awesome. First segment of Talk Sports to Me with the Sports Guru is brought to you by Butterbees in Mount Orb and Sons of Toil Brewery. We are here tonight talking about May 9th in the MMA promotion, Empire Fight Series 3. Empire Fight Series 2 will be on April the 4th in Pikeville, Kentucky. I will be there doing some color commentary for that fight. It's going to be Liddy.
That's right.
In the city, in Pikeville, Kentucky. It's going to be a good card.
There's some good fights on there.
It's going to be a bunch of good fights on that card. It's going to be a bunch of great fights on this card.
Brandon Phelps is doing it, man.
Empire Fight Series 2 and 3 are going to be epic in terms of like fight companies and promotions and what they're able to do. I mean, BP is a local guy, man. He fights, he trains himself, and he just took a leap of faith, man. It looks like this thing's about to blow.
I think that's one of the biggest things, man. The fact that he's had legitimate experience in there, and he knows what goes through a fighter's head, and, you know, he knows what a fighter wants, and I think that's good, man. I like him. I look forward to fighting for him a lot, man.
Something that I've been paying close attention to is that BP is meticulous about his how he's planning these fights. I mean, people are calling right and left, but he's like, picking and choosing who he
Yeah.
wants and what he wants.
Yeah,
Like
he is.
he doesn't want anybody. And that's what makes good shows
I agree.
are guys that I know a lot of those turf war stuffs, and I love Meat Truck, but a lot of those turf wars, some of those guys that I saw fighting in some of those things had no business fighting,
Yeah.
man, and they got hurt,
I've seen that
and
quite
and,
a few times.
and it wasn't them necessarily getting hurt because they were not. It was they got hurt because they weren't ready,
Yeah, they just weren't. Yeah.
and I don't think he knew who was going in there. I think if he would have had an opportunity to go back and look and be like, all right, let me do a little more, let me review this, a little more research, man. Maybe I wouldn't have let these guys fight, but he was just putting people in there, and I saw guys get hurt out there, man.
I mean, that's the thing. If you're 0-0 and you have zero athletic ability, you're doing this for a bucket list thing. You want to get in there and just fight because it's cool, whatever. And then you get in there with an 0-0 guy that's a successful college football player or something. Man, that guy's got some serious athletic ability, man.
Right.
And no training, that athletic guy
he's gonna beat you up.
He's gonna beat you up. Man.
He's gonna beat you up. What is your? We had another question. What is your training regimen like?
Well, my day job is I work at a gym. I work at 9-round kickboxing fitness gym down in Beachmont.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
can you grab me a charger, please?
So when I'm working there, man, I'm doing stuff throughout the whole day. Whether it's some weights, some cardio training, some bag work, mitt work, whatever. There's always another trainer there that I can work with. So I'm always working there, and then I go down to Triple Crown either in the mornings or the evenings and get my work in there. So essentially, I'm training kind of all day long, just in spurts.
Right. Are you getting probably 6 to 8 hours of training in?
Probably, yeah. I would say that's about right.
With me being a former athlete, I want to put that out there for my fans, because if I say athlete, they're going to say you're not an athlete anymore. But 20 years ago, I was quite the athlete, at least in my own mind. And there's training and there's championship training.
That's right.
Are you getting championship training every day, or are you just training every day?
I would say it's training every day. I'm training every day. Here in the next few weeks, it's definitely going to pick up significantly. Pace is going to pick up. The work rate's going to pick up significantly. So, I mean, yeah, right now it's just I'm training, I'm active, I'm working the things I need to work, and getting in shape the way I want to. Here soon, we're going to turn it up and really get ready for the night. I'm excited. Excited to show what's going on.
Yeah.
Been working some stuff.
All of your victories as a pro so far have been due to guillotine or rear naked choke.
I've got a lot. As an amateur, I've got a lot of rear naked chokes. But I've kind of fell in love with punching people. So I prefer, if there's a submission available and there's a TKO available, I'm normally going for the TKO. So that's something I think was bred in me from the gym I was with most of my life, G-Force.
G-Force.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Them dudes, man.
Crazy, man.
You guys were a bunch of nuts over
Nuts,
there, bro.
man. Every single guy, man.
Tell us some of the dudes that was over there, man.
Man, the list, it's a big list of tough guys. I mean, every single guy that was successfully training there was legit, man. But, Joe Peggs, Joe Ammermans, something about Joe, man. Yeah. Something about them, God. Our coach, Ron Gableman, super amazing coach, man. Yeah, Ron. Cody Gableman, myself, Mark McDonald.
I watch Cody fight a lot.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I watch Cody fight a whole bunch.
Cody was also, man, just me and him both had a lot of, our team in general, our rule was you had to have at least 10 amateur fights. So we all had a lot of amateur fights. We were all very successful as an amateur. TJ Wash, also very successful as an amateur. So, I mean...
I saw TJ Wash fight a bunch of times.
So I was kind of just bred that tough, hard knocks way. I mean, we were...
How old were you when you started training?
I was 12. I was in 8th grade. Yeah, I was 8th grade. I started... I was always a wrestler on the hot-headed side. So from wrestling, I moved to Bethel in 8th grade. I met Cody Gableman, and then in turn met his parents, who were the instructors. Both of his mom and dad, 3rd-degree black belts in Taekwondo, and very, very skilled people. And they showed me really quick I wasn't the baddest thing on in Claremont County, you know. So they really brought me down to a level and took care of me and showed me the right way to do things.
And taught you to respect the game. That's
right,
the thing
man.
that I've noticed
That's
is
right,
that you respect the game. Coach Tom. Let's talk about Coach Tom.
Let's talk about
I told Coach Tom, man, I was like, I was over at Bethel. We had a game over there, and I was coaching, and I went upstairs, and I spent 3 years at Bethel teaching and coaching over there, and it was a great experience. A lot of good people, met a lot of good friends over there, and Coach Tom was one of those people.
Great guy.
And so I ran upstairs, and Coach Tom, and Brian Carter, and Austin Carter, and Bubba Carter were upstairs, and I was like, Coach Tom, MMA promotion, May 9th, Mount Hope Sports Complex. Jeff Mack is. Where do I buy tickets?
Right.
So how much of an influence did Coach Tom have, in your life?
To be honest with you, he had a bigger influence on me after I graduated high school because I got a thick skull, man, and a lot of his lessons and things he would try to get through to me, I didn't want to know at the time, So as I got older and matured more, his lessons have really stuck with me, and he's a huge role model for me and a lot of people, man. He's the best coach. I'm gonna say the best high school coach in the world, man, or the country, whatever. Man. He's incredible, and they got some studs over there in Bethel High School wrestling.
If you look at in the years past, if you look at you, if you look at Jeffrey Botts, if you look at Justin Hickson, if you look at Brian Carter, if you look at Austin Carter, if you look at Trey Sanders, if you look at... These are just some guys that I know. These are just guys that I know during my tenure, at Bethel. These kids were legit. I mean, super duper legit. And we're making serious runs in state championships and,
Very skilled guys, man. Very skilled wrestlers.
Justin Hickson came from Xenia, and he's another kid. I'm trying to get him involved in the MMA stuff. I'm trying to get him to train, find somewhere to train, try to get him in contact with Sean. Where Sean's training at right now is a little too far for him with his work schedule. It doesn't work out.
I'm kind of far. My gym's an hour from me, one way, so it's...
So he's working wherever, but I was really wanting to get Justin Hickson into MMA because he is a fighter, but he's also a really good wrestler. He was a really good wrestler, but his wrestling...
Makes the best fighters,
his
man.
wrestling skills were more conducive to fighting than wrestling. And so I would like to see... He's had a rough run at it, lost his little brother last summer, and he's got a lot to fight for, man. And I just feel like Justin Hickson needs to find a ring somewhere.
This could be the perfect thing for him, man. I'm telling you. When you get into this, and if it's something for you and you really you grow to it, it'll change you, man, in all aspects. You become obsessed, man.
And I think that's what will happen with him. I think he'll become ridiculous sober. If he gets in the gym, I think he'll get
That's how it happens, man.
I think he'll eat it, sleep it, live it, breathe it. Moving on, when you are preparing for a fight, what is that feeling? And I talked to Sean about this. What is that feeling in terms of nerves? And, at what point do the nerves subside? What are the nerves like?
So I think it's different. Everybody, I think, is different, man. There might be some people with similarities, but I think everybody takes the pressure and the experience a little different. I'm not nervous at all now. I'm good. I'll be good till the day of. Till a couple hours before, and then things kind of just start to set in, things start getting real. You start thinking, all kinds of thoughts start going through your head, good, bad, in between, and that's when you got to just find yourself and, put your head in place and say, hey,
compartmentalize.
I'm not here to do a job. I'm not here to do a job, put on a show for these people, get my money, and go home. That's it, and
real cut and dry.
And I couldn't. That's not how I thought before. I've had an issue in some of my losses where I've felt amazing. I've had great camps, good weight cuts, and I've walked out right before I walked out that curtain. My teammates could see something happening. They could see what the hell had just happened. Jeff was just on fire, and now Jeff is like empty, you know, and that's been real. So since then, I figured that part out, and I think that was the biggest thing for me to figure out. The skills are there, man. The skills are there. It's just up here, and now I'm there. So
Andy Dotson, we'll have tickets here at Mount Hope Complex, Sports Complex from 6 to 8 tonight.
Come
Then
get
we'll
'em.
also have tickets here on sale. So, but this promotion is going to sell out quick. I'm telling you,
Definitely.
72 hours, and I don't think we'll have any tickets left.
They're gonna go.
They got here today, and I don't think they'll be here at this time on Saturday. So get your tickets if you want tickets. If you need some, I'll hold them back for you, but you got to tell me when you're going to come and get them. Back to what we were just talking about the nerves and about the preparation. Something that I've seen a lot. I'm an MMA junkie, and so I've been watching since Tank Abbott when there were no weight classes.
That's right,
and
man.
I was talking to Sean
Tank's
about
a
that.
legend, man.
Tank Abbott, Hoist Gracie.
That's when it was a fight.
When it was a
it
fight.
wasn't a sport, man.
Right.
That was a fight.
It was just
man.
a fight. We were
That's
going in
right.
the ring to fight, and
Whose style is the best style?
right, and that was what it was about. And you had guys that were 175 fighting guys that were 225, and nobody gave a shit about what the outcome was.
That's right, man.
There's been some guys that were like 300 or 400 pounds, man. that
Fighting
are like,
Hoist Gracie,
yeah,
170
and Hoist
pounds.
Gracie's in there, and like he's taking a butt kicking for the first 30 seconds, and then when he's waiting on them to gas out.
Right.
And then when he gasses out, he guillotines him and chokes him out.
Right.
You know. And so now we broke it down to weight class and we broke it down to division and all that type of stuff. And now it's the way that it's supposed to be in terms of who fights who.
It's really come
But
full circle, man.
my thing is you can't get on an emotional high, but you can't be on an emotional low, because what happens is you get on an emotional high and then you hit that curtain, and it could take one view of one person that can emotionally hijack you. And then once you're emotionally hijacked, you're done.
Yeah, that's very
and it
hard to
doesn't work
recover.
that way with other sports, because with other sports, baseball, basketball, whatever, basketball, you got, if you're a college athlete or a pro athlete, you got 40 minutes or 48 minutes to regroup, right?
Yeah.
If you're a baseball player, you got 9 innings to regroup, right? If you play soccer, you got 90 minutes to regroup. But if you hit that curtain and you're walking out and you look out in the crowd and you see someone's face and your mentality is not right and you're emotionally hijacked, you're walking in to a loss. And there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. There's no way around it.
man.
It is what it is,
That's
man.
what it is, man.
Like,
You're right, man. You just
that's-
gotta get in there, and when you get in that cage, it's just let's go, bro. That's what it is. Ring that bell. It's cracking off. Let's go. And once you're at that point, man, things just happen. You know, you can see this much. You can't hardly see nothing. You can barely see the ref. You see your opponent, and that's it, man. Action, reaction. Things are just happening. The nerves at that point are going.
Jeff, we're going to have 1,400 people in this place.
It's gonna be good, man.
1,400.
It's a lot bigger
And
than I actually
Yeah,
thought, man.
so
It really
we'll have
is.
1,400 people in here. We'll have 75 people, 50 people up here, VIP. We'll have drinks up here. We'll have food up here.
gonna be
Everybody
fun.
from up here is going to watch the fight from down
gonna be
below. This
fun.
is our box seating. Then we've got tickets down by ringside. About 400 of those. They're going for $50 a piece, and then general admission is $30. I don't believe that there'll be a bad seat in the house though.
I don't know. I don't think
by
so
the way
either.
that our facility is set up.
I agree.
Back in the back, we'll have the locker room set up back there where the basketball court is. We've ordered pipe and drape, so that'll be set up back there. Then this will be a beer garden over here. So like, it's gonna be like real legit MMA stuff. Like I'm bringing Las Vegas to Mount Orb for a
That's
weekend.
why I like
you
that,
know?
man.
And
I
like,
like that.
there's gonna be a lot of money filtered through here. There's gonna be a lot of people filtered through here. But by knowing that you're fighting on the card and knowing that BJ McDowell's fighting on the card, there's
Oh, I'm
also
so
going to be
excited, man.
a lot of pride filtered through here, man.
Oh, yeah.
And when you get a bunch of country folk like
Lots
us,
of testosterone
yeah,
flowing,
with the
baby.
testosterone, it's gonna be modern warfare.
It's gonna be a wild night, man. It's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be an all-around exciting night, from the first Dammy fight to the main event. I think it's just gonna be fun. I think the environment's gonna be fun. I think the crowd is gonna really get into it and engage. And I think it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a fun night, guys.
We've got DJ Through the Roof coming from Atlanta, Georgia. He's a
DJ
DJ
Through the
for
Roof.
Grand Hustle Entertainment. He's worked with Nicki Minaj and T.I., so he will be here, and so he's going to have this place rocking.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be electric. It's gonna be electric.
He's gonna have the place rocking, man. Like it's gonna be. I don't know that. When BP and Sean and I started talking about this promotion, I said I don't just want a promotion. I want the best promotion that I've been to. Like, I don't care how many people we can get in here. I don't care if it's 1,000. I don't care if it's 1,400. I don't care if it's 2,000. I want the best event that I've ever been to, and I've got my chance this time to put my hands in it, and get my hands dirty. So I'm gonna try to make sure that it's like off the hook. And I know with you fighting that last fight, it's gonna be off the hook. I mean, that's gonna be a fight that's worth waiting for. I know sometimes you get out in the crowd before your fight and talk a little bit to people. I know sometimes you stay to yourself. Whatever happens that night, all we want is a good show about 10:30.
That's right, buddy. It's going to be a good show, I can tell you that. Right. And I'll definitely be out. I'll be out saying my hellos and getting my good lucks and getting my hugs. And still trying to figure out if I'm going to bring my boy.
How old is he?
It's about 16 months. Okay. So he's just, man, he will be hard to contain.
I don't know.
I just don't know, man.
Just me talking from having a son myself. At 16 months, I don't know if I would.
That's what I was thinking.
Just because of the mentality that you need to go to war.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I feel that.
And that might be one of those things that could emotionally hijack you.
Yeah,
if that's the last thing you see before you enter the cage. As he gets older and he understands and knows that Daddy loves him and there ain't nothing that's ever gonna change that, and there ain't no man on this world that can kick my ass if I'm fighting for you.
That's right.
There's a difference between fighting for you and fighting for a paycheck.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's definitely.
And so when he's old enough to understand that, and that's one of the things that I talked to Sean about when Landon started to come to all the fights and everything. I was like, dude, there's a difference, because he was in the same boat, and I'm like, dude, there's a difference. And he's like, if I lose, I don't want him to see it, or whatever the situation is. I said, Sean, there's a difference between fighting for him and fighting for your paycheck. He knows if you're fighting for him, you can't be beat.
That's right, man.
But for a paycheck is a paycheck. You know what I'm saying?
Getting paid either way, right?
You get paid either way, but it's about you're wanting to go to war. You know what I'm saying? And how you go to war. And him being here may change your mentality. It may not. I don't know. But you won't know.
Because I ain't done it yet.
You don't know until it happens.
You're right.
But you don't want it to happen on your home soil and it be a bad outcome. For me, I know that would be tough for me to do. But man, I'm glad that you came out tonight. We've already sold some tickets. We sold tickets before the show even started.
Come on down, guys. Get your butts down here. Let's go.
I'm sure they're selling some tickets now. When we go downstairs, if there's anybody that wants any autographs, signing autographs, he'll do that for you. He'll be back on the show before the fight. So in late April, I'll have Jeff, Brian McDowell, Sean, and BP all in the same under the same roof at the same time. So all 5 people that are making this thing happen, that's gonna make it jump right here, are all gonna be in the same place at the same time, and we're gonna talk, and I'm gonna set up like a forum, and we're gonna sit here and talk crap and laugh and have a good time and talk about what's gonna happen 2 weeks from that date. But as for now, I'm gonna sign off. I'm happy to have Jeff with me tonight. He was a great host.
Thank you.
We're gonna have you back next time. We'll talk a little more about the Reaper Yanez and see if we can come up with any more information on him and see if we can any better prepare for him. But here's the thing, man. In this fight game, it's not about what he's gonna do. It's about what you want to do. Control the tempo and control your pace. And as long as you can do that, you're gonna have a shot to win the fight. And I got no doubt about it.
I'm looking forward to taking some risks out there, man. It's gonna be a fun show. I'm excited. Thanks for having me on, brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Mack. We'll be back on Sunday, so we'll just have a 3 or 4 day layoff. We'll be back on Sunday with another guest. For now, Talk Sports to Me Podcast 8, signing off.
And cut.
Yep.
up, brother. Thank you.
How long was that, Kai?